Banning secret contracts in state government. You're looking live at the California State Capitol. Lawmakers are now moving forward with a push to ban state lawmakers from signing non-disclosure agreements when making new laws or figuring out how to use taxpayer dollars. It is in response to our reporting on how NDAs have been used to keep details secret on the expensive Capitol Annex project.
They were also used on California's $20 an hour fast food minimum wage. KCRA 3 Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala has been doing this work following this issue for more than a year now and joins us in studio with what's next. Ashley.
Lisa, third time is a charm for this proposal that has already been rejected by the legislature twice within the last year. Non-disclosure agreements are contracts that legally force people to keep quiet. Experts say their use in government is a violation of the First Amendment by limiting free speech and the press. Today, though, lawmakers in the Assembly Elections Committee voted unanimously to pass this proposal 6-0. The bill is AB 1370, written by Assemblyman Joe Patterson, a Republican from Rockland. Now, it specifically updates California's legislative code of ethics to prohibit lawmakers from signing these confidentiality agreements or forcing anyone to do so when they're creating state laws or deciding how to use taxpayer money. If this is violated, it would be up to local district attorneys or city attorneys to enforce it, and the penalty could carry a misdemeanor and in some cases a felony. This is in response to our reporting on this issue, including our investigation into the new $1.2 billion office building that's under construction right now for lawmakers and the governor. Details of that project have been kept secret for years as 2,000 people, including several state lawmakers and government officials, signed broad NDAs on it. That did not get brought up in today's hearing. The discussion was pretty brief.
We all strive to act in the most ethical manner ever, but sometimes for reasons, maybe not our own bringing, people don't necessarily trust the work of the legislature. And I know we're all here about restoring faith in government, and this bill is just one small step.
What people do and outside of the elected legislature, I'd hope that they're being moral in their business dealings, but I like that you focus this on us. And I like that we are also showing the public, regardless of if this is already in statute or not, we want to be transparent. We're doing the people's work.
I think anybody who works in a position of public service should have no issue when it comes to drafting their legislation from hiding any conversation that has the potential to change anybody's life.
I know for me, I have never signed a non-disclosure agreement, so thank you for bringing this bill forward.
The bill now heads to the Assembly's Judiciary Committee, one of many steps still to go.
Well, and part of the reason this all came about, we mentioned California's fast food $20 minimum wage law and how NDAs were used there, and that was part of one of the red flags that was raised. Would this have prevented that situation?
This specific proposal, no, it would not. And as we've been reporting, the governor's office oversaw those negotiations and allowed a major labor group to force major fast food corporations to sign those NDAs to keep the talk secret around that fast food minimum wage law. In fact, lawmakers were actually completely sidelined from the discussions, and the assemblyman who wrote the bill said he didn't know anything about those negotiations. Again, they were under NDAs. So previously killed versions of Patterson's proposal tried to prevent that from ever happening again and were broader and would not have allowed for lobbyists or other government officials to sign those NDAs. But again, it was not successful in the legislature. Patterson acknowledged today his bill limiting this to just lawmakers as a start, and that conversations about how they can avoid that kind of situation in the future should continue. He says this is just the first step, though.
Yeah, because a lot of people would argue if it's public policy, the public needs to be aware.
Yeah.
All right, Ashley, thank you.